Yeah, the more children you have, the more likely one of them is going to take care of you in your old age because there's no nursing home. Okay, so people wanted to have as many children as they could. Yes, makes good sense. Increases your odds, right? I mean, one's going to turn out to be a criminal, one might die at sea, right? One might, who knows what happened, right? So if you have more kids, the better for you. But, that's causing other problems, okay? Urban areas in the southern part of Tarawa, they need some more structured planning there. Outer islands need to be developed a little bit, so the urban people might move back out to the outer islands, and taking care of freshwater and wastewater systems is a big thing. And then developing resources in a ecologically sustainable sort of way, things like fisheries, seawood, copra, unlimited tourism. So these are the things that the Kiribati people have tagged for themselves as areas that they want to do better in. Okay. All right. So lessons learned, okay, when I went to Kiribati is that there's differences in customs. One of them is language. Here in the U.S., we speak the English language. Over there, they speak Kiribati. Here, girls wear pants. Yep, here they do. They wear pants. Okay. Over there, girls wear skirts. No girl would wear pants. That would be like being a prostitute or something, walking around in pants. That would be just disgusting. Who would wear pants? Oh, shame on you, ladies, they would say. Okay. Here we eat potatoes. Over there, they eat what? The coconuts, not tomatoes. Okay. All right. Family car you have. Over there, you got a what? Family canoe. So those are visual sort of things that you see. Okay? Children mature and leave home here. That's what your parents hope for. Over there, extended families are the norm. Okay? Boys hold hands with girls. Okay? They do here, fraternal. Okay, over there, girls hold hands with girls. And boys will hold hands with boys, and they won't be gay. They're just buddies. That's how they express friendship for each other. They'll walk around holding each other's hands. Okay? Perfectly normal. Okay? Nothing funny about that at all. Here, you never say a man's wife is fat. Over there, if a man's wife is fat, then that man's a good fisherman. He's a good provider. So I say, man, your wife is fat. And you go, well, thank you. Yes? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, there's some other things that are a little less obvious. Okay? And if you're someplace, you learn a little bit more about them. Here in the States, we value things like independence. And we teach you students to work independently and all this kind of stuff. Over there, because you live on an island, community is much more important. That you learn to get along in a community than that you learn to be independent. Yeah. Okay? Outsiders are aggressive. You want to be an outstander here. You want to be aggressive. That's what they tell you, right? If you succeed, you got to be aggressive. Over there, to succeed, you need to fit in and cooperate with people. Otherwise, nobody is going to cooperate with you. You come in being all aggressive and demanding and telling people what to do, nobody's going to listen to you, just ignore you, and you won't get any food, and you'll die. Now, if you don't have help living on an island, you die. No doubt about it, okay? Unless you can do everything for yourself. Build your own house, do your own fishing. No, and you can't. So you depend upon everybody, okay? So, let's see, initiative is important here, right? Working on your own. Consultation is very important in the islands. You don't do things without asking other people about whether you should be doing them. Okay? Punctuality is important here in the States. In the islands, patience is important. Okay? Youth and energy are what you want when you live here, but age and wisdom is what you see in the islands. Technology is the answer here in the States. Right? New energy resource, that's what we need. Right? But community policy is the answer over there. Maybe we need to change our light bulbs or something, right? Okay? Tradition is a roadblock here in the States, but tradition is the glue that holds communities together in the islands. Okay? Visitors are to be put up with, if not kicked out, right? Here in the States, what are we going to do with all those illegal aliens? Man, let's deport them all, send them all back to where they came from. But visitors in the islands are an opportunity to demonstrate your values. So as a visitor, especially from America, where the World War II was still a memory in their mind, they treated me very well. Because if they didn't, it would be shame on them. Because they would be heard that they had a guest, and they didn't treat their guest very well. Okay? So I think those are different things. Low context here in the States, high context. What that means is that things around an event are as important as the event itself. So for example, if you get married, you might say, well, the important thing is that we get married. It doesn't matter if we elope, do this, or have 100 people there, or just a couple people in the family. The important thing is that we get married. That would be a low context society. In a high context society, it's very important how you get married. There has to be 2 weeks of wedding stuff going on, right? Big feasts, all this stuff. And if you don't do it right, well, that mars the whole thing, right? Okay? So some cultures are low context, some cultures are high context, and Pacific cultures are what we call high context cultures. Okay? Language is a big thing. Okay? You can't speak a person's language, you can't really speak to them very well. Okay? So if you can speak to a local person, their local language, they respect you a whole lot more. Okay? So over on the left we see English. Over on the right we see Kiribati language. Okay? And so do I have a volunteer to help me demonstrate Kiribati language? Anybody good in linguistics? To give it a try? All right, come on up, Michael. Okay? All right.
I have a little experience.
Okay. Who do you want to be? Sim or Sean?
Tim.
Sim or Sean?
Oh.
There's no T in Kiribati.
Oh.
Okay, so T-I is
Shim.
okay, Sim.
I'll be Shim.
Sim? Okay, so you say Kona Maori.
Kona Maori.
Maori.
Ko.
See, this is funny. Kowara.
Kowara.
Yep, yep. And I say Koraba. I merno. Okay? Kowara. And you say? You say I.
I. Okay.
No, not I. I merong naba. Koraba.
Merurung.
Merong. That means,
Nava.
yep, yep, that's
I
good.
Merurung Nava Ko Rava.
Hey, excellent. All right, Michael. Okay. So when you go someplace, if you could just know a few things to say to people, that makes a big difference to them. Okay? All right. So here you go. Kiribati language is big on vowels, right? Low on consonants. 17 letters are used, right? Rather than how many we use in English? 26. Okay. There you go. Okay. So there you go. No tenses. Everything is present tense because people live in the present. None of this past or future. Okay. That's kind of an afterthought sort of thing. Okay. Now I think that Peace Corps is sort of like this incarnational ministry we hear this guy Pat Mays talk about, right? Talk about people being spiritually mature, relational, culturally engaged, okay? Missional, okay? And transformational. And all those things describe the same things that Peace Corps volunteers want to be. Okay? So I think the mission and the goals of Peace Corps are very similar to these missions and goals that we here at Laterno like to talk about. Okay? What do you think? No? Don't think so? All right. Okay? We also have things here like Project Ethiopia, right? Okay? A few years back. We also have these wheels things, right? Culturally engaged, use local resources, it's got to be sustainable. What does that sound like? Sounds like Peace Corps to me, right? Sure does. Okay? And then, things result from these experiences, right? Here's my whole family. Married the island princess there. And then there's mom-in-law over there on the far left. And then I got 3 daughters here that came out of this experience here in the Peace Corps. So your whole life can change when you do these things, okay? You can lose your hair as a result of it, okay? So here are my daughters, okay? All right? Oldest one, a little bit older than you now, okay? The youngest one is probably about 8 or 9. That's in the old picture, right? Okay, so now let's talk about some other little interesting things here, okay? Let's talk about the future of Kiribati. Okay? You may have heard that Kiribati is being evacuated.
This podcast is brought to you by the National Bank.
Clip on that.
It's all part of the service.
Welcome back. Kiribati France's president has arrived in New Zealand on a state visit, but has a personal mission to get help for his people.
Anote Tong will be talking to Helen Clark about a migration plan for his countrymen because the low-lying islands may be unlivable in 50 to 60 years. Pacific correspondent Barbara Drever talked to him exclusively.
With his own country under the gun, this New Zealand welcome is all the more warmer for Anote Tong. He just hopes it will extend to more of his people.
To plan for the day when you will no longer have a country is indeed painful. But I think we have to do that.
Some Kiribati communities have already had to be relocated due to erosion and rising sea levels. It's 90,000 people live in a land on average barely 2 metres above sea level. Their president is now preparing for the worst case scenario. Kiribati has less than 60 years left. There's
a number of Pacific countries with high islands. If they would, we would also be very happy to relocate there. And if New Zealand is willing to do that, we would be very grateful. But I think the choice, our options are getting very limited.
Anote Tong says migration needs to start soon as a gradual process. He's suggesting only skilled Kiribati be sent at first.
If they do relocate either in New Zealand or elsewhere, they would come as worthwhile citizens, not as refugees.
At this stage, any Kiribati relocation is being met with cautious support from New Zealand.
We do have a quota from Kiribati here in New Zealand. We have small Kiribati communities. If the worst happened, no doubt they'd be bigger.
But many don't want to leave their land.
We want to deny it. We don't want to believe this.
It appears they have no choice. Barbara Drever, One News.
Our online business resource centre is just one way we provide big help for small business. It's all part of the service.
There we go. All right, so that's kind of an interesting thing. Okay. Let's look at try this one. Oh, this is the one that doesn't.
High waves.
All right, let's try another one. Second. Keep messing up. Sorry. No. 2 more. There we go. Okay, let's try this one. This one's okay. Then we'll get back to some fun stuff here. Okay.
Where is Kiribati? Well, here we are, in the very center of the Pacific Ocean. As you can see, we are surrounded by the sea, and our islands are very small and narrow, only 2 or 3 meters above the high tide mark. All this is making big problems for us. Problems caused by sea level rise and climate change. Once our lagoons were protected from rough seas, but now the winds come from another direction. Our shores have become eroded and our gardens are being destroyed.
It's very difficult to adapt in an environment like atoll countries because there is nowhere to move back to. Because as you move back, you're either in the lagoon or in the ocean. So it has impacted very substantially on the sense of security of the people.
But we're also experiencing very long periods of drought. Without rain, our crops and fruit-bearing trees die, and our wells become salty. Without fresh water, there can be no life. So, whether it's storms or drought, they both affect our sense of security, our health, and our economy. It is now beyond doubt that greenhouse gas emissions directly affect the composition and temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. There was a big meeting in Kyoto, Japan. The scientists said we have to quickly reduce these gases by 80% or it will just get much worse. It makes us sad that the world leaders wouldn't agree to 80%. They only agreed to 8%. To begin with, we must build stronger seawalls. But how long will they last? The sea is of course much stronger than anything man can build.
The sea level rise, this is a product of the work of man. We are the other end. Still are in fact paying the price for it. The question is, what should the international community do? How should we respond, particularly those countries which have benefited and which continue to benefit, which continue to pollute? How should they respond?
Kiribati is our home. It's where we have lived for many generations. But what is the future for our children? At the turn of the new millennium, the world experienced for brief moments a feeling of unity and oneness. Despite our national and cultural differences, we are all the children of Mother Earth, the flowers of one garden. The heartfelt appeal of the people of Kiribati is for the world to work again in unity to overcome the challenges of global warming. We know there will be sacrifices. We know there are sectional interests. But the future of our small, unique culture and our children means that these challenges must be faced before it's too late. We started this project with a
There we go. All right, so that's kind of sad place to end. So let's go back to more dancing girls. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, much more fun to end with dancing girls. Miss Lagoon Motors. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go. Note the fashionable coconut shell brassiere. Yes, very fashionable these days in the island. Okay. So it's getting late, and I'd like to end by giving you a little blessing. It's in the custom, okay? And a blessing in English goes like something like this: good health, okay? Goodness and prosperity go with you, okay? So I will give you the blessing, and then you're free to leave. If you've got questions that you want to ask after that, I'll stick around here for a while. But here we go. Te Maori, te roi, au te tabo mo. Sabo, and good night. Okay, see you all tomorrow in class. Like a dancing girl. Funny. Dancing is big.
It's like a one. 8 out of 10 minutes.
I would probably, I don't know, probably go run and hide somewhere. What happened when you started dancing?
Yeah.
No?
You get paid the same way other local teachers get paid, right? And just money, you know, money of mine. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Yes, sir.
What year did you go?
I was there in the 80s, so a long, long time ago. Yep.
You said all your daughters were older. The average student.
Yeah, the oldest one is getting older than the average student now, yeah.
Yeah.
Youngest one is still younger.
What state are you from?
I grew up in Iowa. Good state,
You
yeah.
know that you know. You say you know our day, today. It's more northern.
Oh, yeah.
Iowa's
Yeah,
close
sure.
enough, I guess, if you're
Yeah.
saying what part of Iowa you're from.
Yeah, well, I had a Canadian roommate there for a while.
Yeah, I thought Canadian at first. Iowa, I guess, I haven't been to enough Iowa to know.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
thank you.
turn off this thing.
DeBoer?
Uh-huh.
have to write an essay?
Pardon? No, just sign up on the sheet
And
there.
then we get